How's it going? Strife here, and we are picking it up at the middle area for Path 2 now. If you want to watch the opening area for the shared path, you can watch my other video. So, Path 2, it's pretty much the same except for the last boss. So the first thing we're going to do is come down into this room, and we're going to have an event where we have to protect Detha while a bunch of Gravelings come at you, and you're going to use the spike traps to kill them. We do a more organized method where we only have one person on the spike traps. So you can either have 3 people on the spike traps, 1 on each side running back and forth, and then 1 in the middle. And then you can have 2 people just kiting around all the Gravelings and having everyone just kill them with spikes. What we do is we put 1 person on the right side and 4 people on the bottom. The person on the right side is just going to run back and forth to kill the spikes, or to use the spikes like normal. So you'll see the spikes coming up and down. The other 4 people down here, as you can see, we're DPSing at the same time. Once the breeder comes out in a second, I'm actually going to use Time Warp. Time Warp will be back up again for the last boss since there's a rather long defend event in the final room. So here, once the breeder comes, we're just going to burn him down with DPS and the spikes. So overall, it's a lot faster doing it this way, if you can handle it. If not, just use the normal spike method in your pug. So there you can see the breeder's already dead. We're just going to wait for a few more Gravelings to die from the spikes. This last wave should do it. And then we will be done with this event. The other good thing is the Gravelings actually despawn immediately now. So you don't actually have to run through them and try and make it to the chest. Alright, so we're going to group up here and we're just going to run straight to the last room. So Path 2 overall, it's a pretty short distance. The thing that makes it a bit longer is the last event. Since you can't really speed it up, it's timed. You're pretty much at the mercy of Detha repairing cannons. So that's one of the new attacks actually for the Gravelings now. They make a red circle on the ground and then they'll actually burrow and pop out of it. So you want to try and dodge that. And up here I'm just going to try and focus pull them out of the way. So once you get in here, you're just going to hit the chains on the wall and run through. We're going to run through straight to the end first to leash all the mobs. If the mobs get too far into the room, you want to try and either kill them or get them to go back out of the room, or wait rather, before you run to the middle and have Detha do her talking sequence. If you don't do that, then she's actually going to aggro and try and fight them. So we're just going to wait a second until she gets here. So right now they're on, those mobs back there, they're kind of on the edge of where you want them to be. The slimes are actually a bit too far in, so it looks like Detha is actually aggroing them. So hopefully she doesn't bug out here. But that's just one thing you want to be careful of. So we're going to wait for this talking sequence to end. And it looks like she is aggroing them. So we're going to have to go kill them actually. So normally what you want to do is you want like your guardian to use line of warding at the door so they don't make it too far in. And then once the Gravelings come up after you, the slimes will aggro them and they'll fight back in that room so you don't have to waste time doing what we just did. Alright, so anyways, we are going to start this event now. Detha is going to start repairing this west trap. You can see the progression in the top right corner. We want to use this pillar to LOS the mobs, just to group them up so we can melee them down rather quickly. So there's 2 methods to do this. The first method is where you just constantly kill the mobs until she repairs the cannon. The second method is to do damage to that first group and then just try and kite them around until the trap is finished. By doing it that way, you only have to fight one wave of mobs since these do keep respawning until the very end. If you do it the second method, when you have like less DPS, that way you only have to fight the first initial 6 mobs and you don't have to fight like 12 or 15 or however many we do. So it just depends on your group. Since we kill so fast, we just end up constantly killing them and using that pillar to LOS. So once that first trap cannon is done, we are going to come to the second one. Same method again. As far as the mobs that spawn go, you want to focus the Necros and the Rangers first. The Necros put on a ton of conditions through a well on the ground. They also just do what this guy just did, and they fear you and put a few other conditions on. So overall, they're highly annoying. The Ranger knocks you back, puts a trap on the floor with bleeding and crippling, and it does quite a bit of damage. So that's the other one that you want to focus down just because of the damage it does, and then the conditions are kind of annoying as well. From there you can just take on the lighter, more heavy damage classes, which would be the Elementalist and the Mesmer, and then finish it off with the Warriors and Monks, who really aren't too bad at all. So that's the type of progression you want to do if you're killing the mobs. So here's a Ranger. And it looks like we are done with the second trap. So once we come up to the north trap, you actually don't need to kill mobs for this one, because once Deatha finishes the trap, all of the mobs will despawn. But if you do kill, just stand where we are right now, and it'll actually path all the mobs over again, LOSing with the corners. We want our warrior to actually be down here, and they would all come from the front, not from the back and the front. And then again, just burn them down really quickly when they are grouped up. So we're just going to finish off this last trap. In the meantime, I'm going to start talking about the last boss, Ghost Eater, because he changed quite a bit with the February 26th patch. So now he has kind of a Ghostbuster type theme where when he first spawns, he's not attackable. You have to use 3 of the ghosts that he spawns, bring them to one of the traps to charge it up, and then you lure the boss into the trap, and he will become attackable for a period of time. So as you can see, after I get this chest, there's going to be a bunch of cannons around the traps. You want 3 of your party members, what we use is our 3 warriors, to pick up those cannons. Those cannons have 2 attacks on them. They have a pull and then a lift move. You can't lift or you can't pull the ghosts that spawn until they are lifted in the air. Once you attack the boss right here, we have our guardian attacking. He is going to spawn those ghosts. So here I use the focus pull to actually pull the ghosts closer to us, and I'm going to use a greatsword push. The guardian's also going to use his greatsword pull to pull the ghosts into the center of the trap. By doing it that way, you don't have to mess around with the guns and trying to lift and pull. You can just lift the ghosts when they are in this white circle, like right now, and it'll charge up the cannon without having to mess with the pull. So there you can see we charged the cannon, and since the Ghost Eater was already in it, the trap instantly hit him, so he became attackable. Then we're just going to use a time warp and the reflections. The reflections block his only damage move, so you want to utilize those, and that is it for Ghost Eater. So thanks for watching.